All right, all right. We are back in beautiful Belmont, New Jersey at the Grit Won't Quit podcast studio. I have two special guests on today. To my left, we have Pat. To my right, we have Shawn, and they are the owners of FINS. If anyone is on the Jersey Shore, there's three restaurants here, and they're awesome. Great concept you guys have.
Thank you.
And you guys have been around for a long time.
23 years.
23 years.
There
Going
are
on
dinosaurs
24.
in the industry.
We had earlier today. We had Joe Leone's on, and they are celebrating their 28th year. So you guys are 23, right behind them.
Yep.
And you have three locations: Point Pleasant,
Yep.
Seagirt, and Bradley Beach.
Bradley Beach,
So you have a nice little,
Yeah.
get in the
Yeah,
car,
we're
you drive 15 minutes, and you can be at each
That's it.
location. How did you pick those locations as your?
I'll let Shawn answer that one.
Well, Bradley was our first store. And, 23 years ago, Bradley was not the town that it is today.
No.
But the building was sitting there. Pat and I at that time still had, we were in food service sales. We had full commission
Gigs,
food service
yeah.
jobs, right? But we've been in the restaurant business, basically him and I together since we're 16 and 17.
Okay.
And, we got out of the restaurant business. We tried some other things. We did sales. And we kept saying to ourselves, there's a need, because all our customers, they're missing out on some of this stuff. And the things that we do at FINS today, our first restaurant we opened was a place called Fudd's Pub, which was over in Neptune City, where now Patrick's Grill is,
Okay.
right? A lot of the things that we were putting on the menu and Pat was doing back then are still on the menu today. But back in 1988, 1989, the Jersey Shore really wasn't ready for, TropiCali food, fish tacos. It's funny that they weren't, but they're more, let me just get my fried flounder somewhere else.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And then it
So
just
you had
kind
the vision of
It was,
something.
it was Caribbean and West Coast things, bringing it up to the Jersey Shore, and it kind of sold, but it wasn't as exciting as, like he said, just a piece of fried fish or chicken with tomato sauce.
Yep.
I was loving that stuff.
and
But,
it's
we
funny
did
because-
ribs too. It was funny because nobody was doing ribs on these great barbecue places we have today. We bought a real smoker and we were doing ribs. We were making our own Black Forest ham. We were smoking turkey. We were smoking shrimp. And some of that really went, but like you would think that you'd sell a lot more ribs. But again, this was late '80s.
But it was good. Yeah, it wasn't bad for young people in their mid 20s, coming right out of college.
Did you guys go to culinary schools?
Yeah.
We went to different culinary schools
Okay.
together, pretty much. He went to Johnson & Wales and blames me for it, and then I went to the CIA.
Uh-huh.
My father blames you. It really was your fault.
It's the best mistake he ever made.
There you go. So you have the place over there, and then what happens?
Well, a couple of years later, so we had always, when we decided we were going to get back in the restaurant business, we actually never planned on giving up our sales careers because we were pretty successful in those careers. And we thought we'd get this one open and make it duplicatable. We've been in the business a long time, very fortunate. And, we both think we're pretty good at what we do. Pat's, I put him against anybody with his culinary skills. And, my main focus over the years is more become management in front of the house. And, we think we're good at it. We were basically, when we were in sales, part of our success there is because we were consultants for our customers because we knew what they were going through and we could help them be better. So we decided, hey, you know what, we can do this. We could probably open it, make it. Even back then, we weren't necessarily thinking about franchising yet, but we thought we would open more than one. And we wanted to make it simple, simple, what we call simple stupid. Between how we train the staff out front and then, Pat creating standardized recipes that we could pretty much teach anybody to do.
Duplicatable.
Yeah. Even, our food, as everything back there is fresh. It's made daily. But Pat's got it to a point where his guys and his kitchen staffs, they're not even allowed to season the food. So they're gonna prep everything, and their main job after that part gets through it is to be able to build and assemble quickly and do it correctly every time. So that if you go to any of our three stores, we're hoping that it's going to be the same at all three stores because they're not. He really did make it so that it would be easy for them and us and be able to duplicate it.
Sure.
So
I've eaten at two of them, and they are consistent.
Appreciate
I've never
that.
been to Bradley. It's closest probably to here, but I've been to Secret many times and the Point one a number of times, and I feel like I've gotten the same meal. And when you used to have the brick one, I feel like that was the
Yeah, so that was second, and we were there for 10 years. We were looking to move. We were looking to run out our lease, and we really got very fortunate. We met a couple of men that owned the building that we were in, that we're in now, and they offered to sell it to us.
What was it before you?
It was a bank.
A bank.
Yeah, it was a bank for probably, I'm going to say now, probably almost 80 years. It's probably a bank.
What bank was it?
I think the last bank before it closed was Bank of America.
Okay.
I think at one time might have been a bank of First National Bank of Toms River.
Mm-hmm.
It was several, and it was a training. I mean, it's funny because down in the basement is probably the biggest safe you'd ever seen, which is our storeroom. But yeah, it was built as a bomb shelter.
Too bad no one pays with cash anymore. You guys put it all down there.
Place to put it, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, I mean, the business that you guys are in has changed dramatically over these 23 years. I mean, it's a whole different world. You're dealing with whole different challenges. So, what are some of the obstacles as a 3-restaurant? You know, there's people tell me sometimes you're too big to be small, but you're too small to be big. And as a three chain operation, probably you kind of feel that way sometimes. Like you're not at that scale of 10 plus, and you're not a single operating restaurant now. So what are some of the things that happen in your world that are hard, and you're overcoming challenges daily on?
I think for us, it's we're fortunate, but it's a lot of help trying to find the right people, right? Not just to put people in this position, but to find the right people. And we've been fairly consistent with help, which is good because we like to, make sure that things go out right. So a lot of the people that are with us have been there a long time. So we don't have the churn. But
that's good.
It's a constant battle between, rising food prices, rising labor prices, and it's just trying to strike that balance between, like we talked about off the air, the quality, the value and affordability. Because we always wanted to be that place where you can come for lunch and then bring your family back for dinner.
Yep.
Because we want to stay, our food's better than the average, burger chain, right? But we're not a bar or a pub, but we serve that kind of quality food. We're definitely not white tablecloth, but we want to stay in that range where we're not breaking the bank.
Yeah.
And for the type of quality product that we use, that's probably one of our biggest struggles to kind of, just stay like right in that sweet spot, and sometimes it's like, we might be charging a little bit too much for this. Maybe we can give a little bit more. Those conversations happen. It's not like, okay, let's ride out that profit. Like, let's still make sure that when somebody walks through the door that we're fresh, we're clean, the food's good, and they don't feel like, they overpaid.
I think that's important. And I think I'm not sure that I'm the judge of how food costing should be, but I think that you get a good product and at a good value at your place. I love that you get when you get like a burrito or the tacos, you get the chips and salsa too. It just gives that much more.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people charge more for that. And, it's kind of like you going out and getting a burger and you're not getting either chips or fries or coleslaw or pickle. It's just that's what it's supposed to be, in our opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's important because after 23 years, you're having customers that were coming in when they're 4, 5, 6 years old, and now they're coming in with their own families.
Yes.
Right. So, and it's I think in any business, but really in the restaurant business in particular, to build that generational clientele, that helps you have long-term, sustain.
And I think that you guys have that. I feel like people on the Jersey Shore, everybody has good things to say about FINS. Like I don't hear like, oh, that place sucks. Like, I love FINS.
That's good.
Oh, the Hawaii 5-0 or this and that. Like I feel like you have a very good brand name for yourselves on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, I think what's helped us out a lot. We made a conscious. Bradley's small. You know the size of Point and Seagirt. Bradley's literally half the size.
Bradley's like this size.
Oh wow!
Okay. The whole restaurant.
Yeah.
Anybody looking? This is 1,000 square feet that we're in.
Yeah.
So it's a small little storefront.
Yeah, and so we knew that our main focus was going to be takeout when we started that store, and we have to do it really well. So when we were putting together the menu and how our concept and all that, in the way we came up with the items, it was very important, especially to Pat, that the food was able to travel well. So if you've taken takeout from us, when you get home, most of the items are still very hot.
Yes.
Right. And they're not like mushy and like a lot of places that you get food from. So that's been probably one of the bigger part of our successes. Also, when we first started, we used to do all our own delivery too.
Okay.
Right. And at the time when we were doing that, who were you getting delivery from? Pizza places and Chinese.
Yep.
Right. So that also was another big thing that brought in a whole other group of clientele because you're reaching further, further factors. Then unfortunately, you come to COVID, because we were already 65% takeout. It was a rough road, but we were prepared to do the takeout.
Yep.
And now you see almost every restaurant now has really embraced doing takeout. They're taking advantage of the third-party delivery services where, prior to COVID, they probably wouldn't be doing. They wouldn't have pivoted like that.
Yep.
So that's been a challenge. That's always a challenge. Like Pat was talking about the labor. So it's how you keep generating those forms of income flow, and I think our answer to those challenges has been the fact that we really do takeout very well.
Now, takeout with the third parties. How do you guys seem like you have a real sense of pride in the product that you put out. Now, when you start putting it into third-party drivers' hands, do you feel that
that actually, if you're talking about challenges, that can be a challenge?
No, that's a concern that if I had a restaurant that I would be nervous about.
It's out of your control. It's not like you can call the person.
I saw somebody the other day. I was walking in Point Pleasant Beach, and I saw an Uber, DoorDash, whatever, a third-party delivery. I don't want to say because I'm not sure who it was. And the driver literally threw the bag like it was a bowling ball on someone's porch, and as he was throwing with one hand, took a picture with the other hand. So as it landed, and I was like, I was talking to my wife. I said, I can't believe that. I can't believe that someone has to eat that now.
Well, it's funny. I think people have come to accept it because so many people use it. I mean, I honestly, I've never gotten a third-party delivery myself. Yeah. But we try to make those extra steps. Because we were already doing this, we had the systems, procedures in place. Now we had to just take a further extra step. So before we hand out those bags to the drivers, our bags are completely closed.
Okay.
And sealed with tamper stickers.
Okay.
So that's we're trying to do that to ensure that the customer is getting it, because be honest, there's been times that the drivers have pulled over and ate the food themselves, right? But it happens. It's another part of management. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, because it really has allowed people to grow their businesses, including us. We've been able to grow our business because of the availability of these third-party services. And we use them more like we're always trying to encourage people to go to our website. You are going to get a third-party delivery person, but at least it's a little more in our control with that. But it really, it's helped everybody. You got a lot of people through COVID. We're still a lot of those bumps are still back there. And it really, if you're not using it now,
you're behind. Yeah. It's crazy though, but you say a little prayer every time.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, even before COVID, the trend, if you read some of the trade magazines, the trend was going to takeout. People didn't want to go out to dinner as often as the restaurants would like them to. They want to have your great food, but they want to bring it home and sit on the couch or whatever, eat at home. And a lot of restaurants didn't. It's a shame that a lot of restaurants didn't see that trend coming, because it's, we both worked at some pretty upscaled restaurants that were super fast paced. And looking back, we would have a server hand us a to-go container when somebody wanted something to go, and it was far and few between. But you've got, a big menu. You've got a dozen different types of plates on top of the line that you use for all your beautiful items. There's no to-go containers up there. There's no room.
Yeah.
So to shift that gear, and to go into like a 9x9 square or a round container it's kind of rough for some people.
I'm the last of the Mohegans, because I'd rather not eat a meal at my house through a delivery driver. I'd rather go sit down in a restaurant.
Yeah. Or pick it up.
And bring it home. I just feel like, I don't know, that the experience isn't what I would think
Well,
of.
that's what's
It
encouraging.
never
like,
is.
Like we talked about a little earlier before we got started. It's nice to start seeing that the in-house traffic is improving again. You
Yep.
know, and it's important. Listen, it's important for everything right now. You know, for us being social, for the younger high school kids and early
Yep.
college kids that lost out on all that socializing.
Yeah.
You know, I do notice. Like my daughter's a great example because she was going to high school in the beginning of COVID, so she was a
Okay.
freshman when it started. She's a lot more social now, like than say my son who was graduating at when COVID was there. So his particular generation, those people are still struggling a little with the socialization and really depending on their social media and or being afraid to talk to somebody on the phone. So it's good to see it's coming back.
Yeah, it is. I think that'll be good. And again, a place like yours, like I know, like the kids sitting there, like having fun, like it's part of the experience. Like a couple friends going after
Place to meet, doing homework. We see it all the time.
And it's
It's
BYOB.
cool. Not for the kids.
What do we know?
That's great. So, I mean, so now an exciting thing that I know about through you guys is you're starting to franchise the business. So let's kind of hit on that for a minute.
Well, it's been a long time coming. Like we said,
Okay.
23 years ago, we thought we'd open. Our original thought in our mind was we would open more locations and put in like a general operating manager that would have ownership in the business. As it's gone through the years, we feel that right now there's such an opportunity with, say, a FINS franchise. Somebody that's ambitious can really make themselves a nice living, and if they want to open 2 or 3, they do well. And what's nice about our model, as opposed to most restaurant industry, because it's got that stigma in it. Our general manager for us, probably the most she ever works is 44 hours a week.
Okay.
Right. So for good balance of life at work, our hours are they're good restaurant hours. Our kitchen staff comes in at 9. Our managers start coming in between 10, 9:30, 10. We're closed early. We're closed at 9 and 9:30. So you don't have those long late night hours. You don't have those early hours. The holidays, because we're not a sit down restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what? You're going to be off Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter.
Sure.
And it's allowed us to allow our management team to have very flexible schedules, and they can have that life. They don't work every weekend. They don't work every Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's a nice opportunity, and
So there's some balance compared to some other restaurants.
definitely in our world.
We certainly didn't grow up,
we didn't
like,
grow up like
that in the restaurant business. If
Yep.
you were the head chef or the general manager, the hours didn't matter. It just you had to get it done.
Yeah.
And it's not like that. We've learned from what we didn't like about the restaurant
Sure.
business. Just like Sean's saying, everything's ready to go. Nobody has to season anything on the line. That's one of the things I've learned, and we've both learned, that nobody likes working 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the way you get divorced.
Fair.
And the same thing out front. It's funny because I know that the younger, like high school kids, may or may not come to us because there's a lot of training.
Yep.
They're going through minimally 7 shifts of training. We're making them take tests, not tests to punish them, but it's tests to know the knowledge, so they know the menu items, so they know all the proper procedures. Because we're so heavily focused on takeout and working on the phone and catering, there's a lot of moving parts that go on, and so that's why training is important. And you being a customer, I'm gonna hope that 9.9% of the time you're gonna have your food taken home correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because customers, you might give somebody 1 chance, 2nd chance, 3rd chance, you're not coming back.
No.
So,
No.
yeah.
And again, I think in a world we live in where people are just so heavy to go right to a review and,
gosh.
rather than even call you up and say, hey, Pat, hey, Sean, this is what happened today. Or, hey, I wanted to, talk to the manager. Hey, I thought I ordered this, but, I got that. Like, people are just so hitting the keys.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I say it all the time, like our social media person, I'm like, the first question you have to ask when we get an unfavorable review is like, when you brought that to the restaurant's attention that night, what did they say? And that usually stops them dead in their tracks because they didn't.
No.
Whether they were in-house and we could have fixed it if it was a problem, or whether we delivered it and we could have fixed it that night. Our policy is we fix it that day. Whether you come back, we redeliver, or you get a gift card. But at the end of the day, there's no IOU. So when somebody complains and they go right to social media, 9 times out of 10, they didn't give us an opportunity to know we made a mistake, which I find out, finding out, I guess that's a new generation thing. Let me just get right on my phone and blow these guys up because
I feel like some people just don't even, right as they walk out the door,
I've known people that wrote reviews that have never stepped foot in the restaurant. They got an axe to grind
It's
or
crazy.
something.
It's
just
crazy.
But that's just the way of the world right now.
There's a positive side to that too. Fortunately for us, probably 99% of all our reviews are really positive. But we feel it's really important to listen to those 1% that aren't, because
Can we learn?
you're not always correct.
Yeah.
Right. And if we can make it better, or it gives a better opportunity for us to train our staff, I don't like them, but they're actually an important part of the business.
Yeah, use it to learn and get
Right.
better.
It's always about listening to customers, and that's how you grow as a restaurant as well. Besides, correcting mistakes, it's listen to what people are talking about and what they like and what they want.
So in a perfect world, where is the first franchise?
Well, I really, in the perfect world, it'd be anywhere within 10 miles of our existing locations, because
The built-in audience.
built-in audience, built-in customer base, and pretty much guarantee success right out the door. So, right now we're available in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware.
Okay.
So we're looking; those are the areas that we're looking to grow first. But we're hoping that we can grow Monmouth and Ocean County. Yeah, there's so much opportunity.
How many in a perfect world in Monmouth County? How many stores would there be?
Oh gosh,
It could be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could. In Monmouth County is huge. I mean, if you're overlap, even, I say 10 miles, but 5 miles really, you really don't have a customer base much further than 5 miles. You have some,
Yeah.
but so yeah, there's Monmouth County. You could
probably
I don't
a
even-
dozen in there.
I bet you more than a dozen. Yeah, several dozen.
So you have a lot of room right now, right in our own backyards here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all right, that's great. And any prospects? Anybody that's looking like you got the first one near?
Unfortunately, we haven't really found the right fit for us yet, because we
Yep.
are looking for somebody because we're going to they're not going to just become a franchisee that's going to send us a monthly commission. They're really going to be part of our family.
Yep,
So,
part of the crew.
we need to be able to dance together really well, and because we really have a vested interest in that franchisee being successful.
Totally. I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a great model to go off of, because I don't think that every franchisor thinks like that. I think they think about, well, just open the store and we'll keep moving and go to the
That's
next
been part of the problem, I'd say problem, but it's been our slow growth, because it is that, our staff, they're not just our staff, so many of them been with us, 6, 7, 10, 15 years. They're part of our family.
Yeah, that's great.
And the
Yeah.
ones that have left are still part of our family.
Yeah.
We still keep a lot of them. They're back and forth, and so when you're bringing in somebody into your, basically your child, right?
Yeah.
You want them to, be on board with our values and our commitment.
I think that's a great way to go. I mean, you're going to have slower growth, but you're going to have better growth. You should have better operators, better people that are in the system for the long haul than just to have people coming in and churning and burning.
Yeah, I don't think that's helpful to anybody.
No, I don't think you win on that one. So that's great. I look forward to hearing about continued success on that, and I'll be.
Well, Tom, I'm waiting for you to come put together your franchise package.
You got time, right?
Listen, I'll help you do all the web work. I just don't know that I want to be a franchise. I don't want to be a restaurant operator. I think I don't know if I have the thick enough skin for those.
You got a good discount on the food.
Yeah, there you go. I'll work it out with you on
perks.
I'll work it out on the website with you. How's that? So that's great. As we wrap up today, let people know where they could find you. I think this was a great chat. I thank you guys for coming on, and where they could find you online on social media.
Yeah, well, online, finsusa.com, and social media is FINSUSA. So follow us, like us, come visit. Yeah.
All right, this was a great chat. I'm glad you guys came in, and continued success for you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
You bet.